Niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip. Niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip. I might kill this like OJ, cause I got the juice go poke. Ain't no smoking, no they strong, you know incredible hope. Why you looking like a goose? My swagger through the roof. Pay my haters no attention, got receipts to show the proof. We watch hurt my wrist if I give you that, no cap. The only time you keep top when you on the damn app. She don't want no scrubs, you looking like TLC. And you don't want no drama, feel like A-Ball and JC. I used to be walking, now I'm with Cool, La Puta. And my weed loud like a tuba. Give her what she want, and she give me what I need. Yes, indeed, as we proceed, I beat it up like crazy. Niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip. These niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip.
Let me finish my motherfucking shot. You be calling my motherfucking mom far away. That's why my nigga dead, nigga. His pockets dirty. You head ass nigga. What a coulda, shoulda ass nigga. What you really need to do is make a fucking vision board. You visually impaired ass nigga. Nigga, you blocked and you hide at it. Come around here and cry about it. Suck my ass nigga. Shout out to my new nigga for doing you a motherfucking sorry and taking me up off your hands. Yeah, don't call me no fucking creep.
Niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip. These niggas talking shit, but I ain't buying what they selling me. Teach you how to be a player on my bill, Bellarmine. Pistol on my hip, get the chips, then I dip. She robbing for a stash, and I made a little flip.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Shout out for y'all for sliding through. I just had to come through. I ain't gonna be on here long now, but we just gonna have to put some things in perspective. 'Cause I see some bigger bloggers got shit twisted. And we not just gonna bunch up all R. Kelly supporters, just like R. Kelly supporters wasn't gonna keep quiet about all the janky shit we've been seeing over the years. Sad thing is, all the stuff we've been talking about been going on deaf ears. But now we see these damn parents jumping ship because, as I pointed out a long time ago, they ain't had no case. So they sat up here and conspired with all these fucking people, and now we seeing, the appeal coming up. We know the defense was flawed. What is Jennifer Bonjean getting at? Even though we seen these same damn text messages, let's go on other people platforms who don't know no better, who gonna come and feed our little stories and ain't gonna check us on our bullshit. So we gonna start this shit over for the people in the back who might not know Tim Savage and his wife, Jonjolyn Savage, as the parents who started a lot of this shit. So when it came to my platform, I told you why I don't give a fuck about asking where were the parents, because I know exactly where they were conspiring. With that being said, let's rewind for a second, but let's play one more song from my guy, Chris Terry. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat doing their thug thizzle. Let's play another song. And then we'll get straight to the business, you know?
Everything's on the open.
That's that mental swag right there.
Then we crashing out, slow it down like they lean on me. But actually, a nigga sipping coke and medicine. You got me falling in love. It's a hell of a drug. You down the ride, I'm addicted to you. And
That's what's up right there. Shout out to Chris Terry once again. Y'all know I love Lil Chat now. Shout out to her. But as I said, let's get to the business. Cause Tim Savage out here now trying to flip the script again. But he forgot. He done flipped this goddamn script so many damn times he might be losing track. He might have forgot. He was the one who came out wielding the baseball bat, talking about R. Kelly sleeping with his daughter, da 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 da, trying to create the scandal. Then his goofy ass came out trying to create a public outcry, as he said. And still to this day, he ain't figured out all the shit I've been saying is I can clearly see why your daughter ain't coming home. But involving all these motherfucking other janky ass people ain't gonna help you plead your case. Okay? And we finna find out why. Hold on, let me see if I could. Hold on, let me see something real quick. See if I could share my screens. No, I can't do it on my phone, so we just don't listen to the audio. Okay, I'm not to play the audio, but y'all remember this? Let's pause right there. Tim Savage makes this video for the internet. Now we're gonna keep in mind that according to him to this day, he say he ain't had contact with R. Kelly but twice. But somehow we got this video on public display of him being comfortable enough to pick up a baseball bat and threaten him. Meanwhile, if you fast forward, you will come to find not only did Tim Savage participate in numerous wellness checks trying to make sure his daughter was fine, healthy, and okay, but he also actively partook in police reports against a lot of people, including people who contradicted his statements he put on public display. Whose fault is that? Pause. Why should he know he should come see you if, according to you, you ain't interacted with him but twice? That means he don't know you. And again, how do we know that you had interaction with him if those of us keeping up with this case are pretty clear at how the government comprised their little enterprise of all these assistants and all these other people who ain't got sense enough to know an assistant job ain't got a damn thing to do with being a fucking babysitter. So if I'm supposed to engulf all this information about how all these assistants, managers, bodyguards, runners, all these people actively participated in alleged crimes, and I'm reading indictments, superseding indictments, and not a motherfucker get charged. Meanwhile, people just start getting on these platforms talking about, I did this for R. Kelly. I did this on behalf of R. Kelly. I'm trying to do this and do that so we can get the business in order and all this type of shit. And then you come to find out all these people were behind the scenes trying to cook up, let's say, kickbacks. Is that what's going on with Escape now? So when people behind the scenes trying to plot on telling the next person's story and even telling R. Kelly's story, no surprise you got a musclehead nigga on her now seeing pieces of clips in which he's openly volunteering information that I've told so-called supporters for years made him look janky than a motherfucker to me. But instead of accepting that, these bitches want to team up with him. Kudos to y'all. But what we not gonna do is play with me. Okay? You know who I am.
Call me, bro. The man dealt with R. Kelly in my living room, bro. The man dealt with R. Kelly in my kitchen. We dealt with Russell in our kitchen, bro.
So pause. When I start to bring forth certain information and let me know people were behind the scenes doing shit, and then I watch goofy ass bitches get on here trying to debunk my shit, First, I gotta tell you what I think, other than the fact that it's janky, before you try to come use my shit and spin it. Because I'm gonna watch you, as I always do, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make it make sense. Hence, we still gonna focus on this interview from Don Russell when I get finished dragging the fuck out of Tim Savage. Cause if y'all think there'll ever be a day when anybody who really supports R. Kelly is gonna commend that bitch, you motherfucking crazy. Far as I'm concerned, I need to send that motherfucker a goddamn invoice. God damn it, got me investigating all this motherfucking shit you done put on the internet and you got the nerve to talk about motherfucking bitch, please. I ain't motherfucking saying. Hmm. So, I just saw a clip in which, shit, if it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, I would call it a duck. And ain't no way in hell nobody on this internet gonna convince me that people who think R. Kelly is guilty should be handling his business, handling his defense, handling any fucking thing to do with this case when I specifically don't believe R. Kelly has these people doing this janky ass shit. Okay? What they do? They want to incite people to keep attacking everybody to speak on the topic. They want to keep attacking the people who support him. And as you can see, it's few and far between that you'll see people trying to give balance to the topic of R. Kelly. But yet now we want to see these bigger bloggers want to summarize what R. Kelly supporters think and feel. Bitch, have you talked to me? Or any of the other solid supporters. So how in the entire fuck are you going to summarize why we don't believe these cases were built on sufficient evidence, sufficient accusations, and know these convictions will be overturned? Instead of opening the door for healthy conversation, people want to always throw insults. They want to always pull you out of character. And people still on here want to know why Prima don't get on her reading the paperwork, reading the transcripts, jumping on other platforms, just trying to be seen when, shit, I'm 36 years old. And if I got as much sense as I do to just think about this on a realistic level, and I put all the allegations to the side and just focus on the bigger play, which is what the government wants, the assets. And then I look at other people's cases and you don't see none of this shit. None of it. They don't tell you something particularly strange is going on with this case. So instead of just clicking up and everybody running with the same stories, why don't I be the bigger person and dig a little bit deeper? Why don't I stop giving these people a platform and I get this man the opportunity to fucking speak? I don't like the way I speak, obviously. But I tell you what, I've been telling y'all what's going on without telling y'all what's going on. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't there, you know? I heard people say that our sons could be next. So let's put R. Kelly to the side and let's think about your son. Let's say your son becomes a professional athlete or entertainer or whatever. He starts dating a girl. Her parents start to interfere with y'all relationship and she decides she gonna cut them off. And then, as we know in the entertainment industry, these people like to buy interesting stories. Just like a lot of these surviving R. Kelly participants found out who ended up selling their stories to Lifetime. So to sit here and say they were paid and waiting on a Lifetime check, y'all know how this shit go. They were licensing content the same way a lot of these people like to do these goddamn interviews on this platform. Don't take a rocket science to figure that out. So when I tell you common sense for any of these people, whether you say you support him and are doing janky ass criminal shit, if it's a known fact that these platforms are being monitored and this is an open case, common sense should tell you ain't no need in doing all this extra shit, getting online, implicating a lot of people, then coming back trying to double back and throw this person under the bus because you feel like you got the short end of the stick for shit you volunteered for. I'm pretty sure once you process the fact that, let's say, the fake ass manager, Don Russell, ain't a goddamn manager, and you factor in the fact that in the industry, a lot of people will take on these fake ass roles, and you take in the fact that a lot of people get real razzle dazzled when prima donnas say, I don't give a fuck who know R. Kelly. The things I say should be more relevant than people who watch my content trying to devalue the overall point. So the overall point then was from the moment I saw Tim Savage, that bat, his threats, his affiliations with this fake ass manager, all this shit these people continue to put on these platforms, including Instagram, the fact that I saw some of the exhibits being put on Instagram well before the trial is why I'm looking at all these people talking about these text messages now. Wasn't my major point, if you go back and review, if people had checked these sources, maybe this man would have had a fair trial. Instead of everybody publicly convicting them and him not getting that just due in court. So now he just gotta wait and hope. And then you got those who are anxious, who know, he's older, he got all these things working against him. What if he don't make it? Well, look, these are things that should have been addressed for the trial, considering it was ample time. These are things Tim Savage should have addressed when he started tagging Angelo Clary. It's funny he came to these platforms on YouTube talking about how this page on Instagram, 97 Baby Girl, brought him so much information. Ashley McGee gets on her interviews talking about she reached out to these parents. They have a press conference in front of one of his houses in Atlanta. And recently, the Savages were on Storm Monroe page talking about Cheryl Mack, who was the actual witness, not Ashley McGee. Cheryl Mack, London on the Track's mama, gave them access codes and whatnot. And while they out there talking about this man got a coat and all this other bullshit, how in the Sam fuck 2 houses of his get robbed and ain't nobody see no goddamn hostages? Besides that, he wasn't even living in Atlanta at that time. And the point is, it's so many things that I could single-handedly point out that's been on my platform for years. The fact that people are so selective with their outcry is what gets me. People are so fueled on who they don't like, so let's figure out a way to get them in trouble. Let's figure out a way to get people not to like them. We can't even absorb the message and the purposes of these platforms. So let's move along. Now, the fact that so many people spent so much time on her going back and forth with us, playing with the mere fact that everybody knows is common knowledge. These prosecutors and investigators clearly put out there they started their investigation stemming from surviving R. Kelly. Now, with that being said, if I bring out the major parent who's frontlining a lot of these accusations, and he brings on other people to try to help co-sign his bullshit, and only one parent that he brings on has an actual case for them to manufacture, considering, as I said, they came out here with that janky ass handwritten letter talking about they got Azriel got permission to do this in September. Meanwhile, all of us over here knew about the text messages, as I said, about the fact that people were already implying that the Clary set this whole thing up and skipped past the fact, hypothetically speaking, the Clarys were trying to trap R. Kelly behind the scenes. The fact is, none of that mattered until it became this case, and the prosecutors needed this witness who they put in the paperwork to cooperate. Now, whether she was cooperating from the time they put her in the paperwork or not, it don't undermine the fact that, as I said, it's so much janky shit that would give you reasonable deniability in knowing that this girl was allegedly a minor, with all the events that were uncovered from her even coming out saying her parents told her to lie about her age. The simple shit like that, even text messages put on social media between the so-called enablers talking about her being 18, and if her parents are going to allow this, what do they care, and shit like that. Meanwhile, all these people who've come out with these stories get to realizing how serious this is becoming, and those stories they're telling are being manifested into charges. Does that change the fact they're not credible? Does that change the fact that if they had that much evidence to prove there was sexual activity with her as a minor, he would have been hit with that specific charge? No, they had to get creative and come with the bullshit. So when people get in my comments talking about what about him, the alleged predator? Again, you giving too much credence to hearsay. When I hear anything regarding the topic, I look at it from both angles. Number one, I'm a fucking woman. So to sit here, and I got a daughter and a son. So to sit here and just be delusional to the fact that R. Kelly supporters are just fanatics, would allow abuse of their kids and all that other fugazi ass shit. Because you may be the type of parent that see a celebrity and be like, yeah, I'll leave my child with you. The fuck? Give a fuck? Ain't no celebrity got no authority over your kids. So how you gonna manipulate the fact that they're abusing their authority? Ew. The fact that they knew majority of these surviving R. Kelly participants were lying. And not only that, these people, the savages specifically, exposed some of the witnesses. And if you ask me, a lot of this shit got exposed because of envy, jealousy, and stupidity. Because the savages thought Lifetime would be focusing on they goofy ass. They trying to frame a fucking story about the Pied Piper leading all the fucking kids astray. And you got your goofy ass talking about the man got a coat. And all these other goofy ass people talking about we were doing this and this and this and this and that. But ain't nobody out here in the fucking world that got all this outcry gonna say, well shit, lock everybody up. But no, we gonna make a mockery. We gonna say some shit. Where were the parents? Bitch, they right there. But my question is, where the fucking minors? Where are the minors? I don't want to hear no shit. He met her at this. And then if you get to reviewing these messages, the mama up here enticing the girl. He told her he ain't interested in her voice. He liked her. And it's supposed to be his fucking fault. They lied about their age, tried to get him to sleep with her before she turned 18, whether he did or didn't. She said he didn't, then came back and testified to something different. So the point remains she ain't credible. You got video of this? Y'all got 100 devices, all these videotapes, all this shit, but y'all can't produce no evidence. Because you let people like Tim Savage, Ashley McGee, and all these other people come put all these stories on these platforms to entertain the masses. How cute. But they skip some interesting points. And like how some of these people highlighted what I believe was a shakedown from the beginning. So when Ashley McGee had her first interview with the radio station, she points out how R. Kelly used to walk around with a bag of money. So if I got this mama over here trying to plot and scheme and get hired and get money for her daughter's vagina and all this shit, and I got this sack of parents over here gonna keep running to the media talking about they just want to make sure their daughter fine, healthy, and okay. Ain't nobody gonna stop and say, okay, so where does the RICO come into play? No, 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 no. We just gonna keep running to that punchline. But he married Aaliyah. But he was in the tape. Let me tell you something, geniuses. If you couldn't see that was the highlight of surviving R. Kelly, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. They came out here and got you all riled and dazzled over some shit you already fucking knew. They attached these new motherfuckers on their clout chase. And then they let they goofy ass expose their so-called fucking witnesses. Let's start with Jane Doe number 6, Faith, who we didn't come to find out didn't even have fucking herpes. So to charge him with exposing Faith, make that shit make sense.
truth? So then I don't understand how they know all of the truth about these people, but they still allow them to be a part of it.
Hold up. Hold up. So you got prosecutor in Chicago say, I watched Surviving R. Kelly. This is where I start my investigation. These the people I'm going to use. We all know the Jane Doe's from her case and the fact that her initial case was dropped. You want to know why? Because they knew that case was bullshit from the dough. But guess what? They, in my opinion, just my perspective, were banking on this janky ass Rico. That way they can keep feeding off this narrative that all these people were doing stuff so blindly, just following orders as the enterprise.
I can see y'all and y'all daughters, but if you know that, these other girls are going to get honest, my thing is, what makes you think that it's not going to come out later? You know like a damn fool.
Hmm. Hmm. So to hear Tim Savage now have a new attitude and say this.
But right now, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and what I know that was in the court documents, you can't falsify stuff like this. This is not something somebody made up or government made up. These are actual records from his daughter's cell phone. So we, as people who have supported Angelo in the past, I've stood up for Angelo in the past, but these records show otherwise. And we have to hold these two people accountable at all costs for what they've did. The law is just like it is. Donald Trump is not above the law. Angelo and Alice Clary is not above the law. Period. What I've seen and what I've seen on this message board and what I've seen on the documents, this is wrong, bro. It's wrong on all levels. And they need to open this case back up. I'm just keeping it real. Because at the end of the day, when you are guilty of something, you're supposed to be in a court of law without a reasonable doubt. This shows doubts. This shows that this man is not 100% guilty.
Ain't that what we've been saying? Nah, we can't even say that because just because we support R. Kelly, but because they were determined to try to change the narrative, they were determined to ignore all of our common sense objections to what they were doing, which was trying to force people to believe them. At whose cost? So practically what he's basically doing now is coming out to the public now that he see how the tide is changing, and he's essentially saying, even though we came out to the public off of things people were telling us about our daughter, and even though we alienated her to the point she cut us the fuck off, and though we got on the internet and we tampered with federal witnesses, we tampered with this fucking case, we tried to bully and intimidate anybody that came against us, and we assembled a whole flock of people who are just as loony as us to cyberstalk people who don't agree with us. just to turn around and say, well, it ain't my fault. People told me this. People told me that. Motherfucker, you ain't the one who's losing time, money, everything, sitting in jail. 4 years later for a motherfucker who got all this shit started to come back to the public and say they need to reopen the case. Bitch, they need to throw your motherfucking ass in there. Fuck is you talking about? And I hope you see this video. Because you've been under my comments trying to convince me that I guess I'm just imagining the shit I seen on your goddamn Instagram. People who can't break down my content obviously missed a lot of the shit y'all did on these platforms, which is why I screenshotted it. Because I knew it would be a day like this when you bitch ass motherfuckers would come back on this motherfucker and try to recant, backtrack, and throw somebody else under the bus because you some dumbass motherfuckers. Period. And I hope all of you are equally prosecuted. And I mean that. I don't give a fuck who's involved. So for those sitting in the back, all the way in the back of the slow broke down ass bus, for all you who wasted all this energy trying to connect the dots and say who support and who don't support and all that other bullshit, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I came out here to tell you these people is fucking with this man case, fucking with this man defense, and then they want to bring their goofy ass out here like they some Captain Save a nigga. Fuck I look like. I told y'all stop playing with me long time ago. And maybe I would shut the fuck up. No, no. Y'all want to sit up here, get to posting my child, all in chats with motherfuckers you say are intimidating witnesses, all on panels having debates in the goddamn prosecutor's email talking about this motherfucker threatened me. Bitch, I hope all of you burn in hell. Okay? Because you ain't shit. So for the people to be in the comments talking about why the black folk and black motherfucker, I done told y'all I ain't black. You could be black, null, void. You could be that. But my voice matters, and that's why I have a platform. But like I said a long time ago, R. Kelly spoke his truth. And everybody wanted to he and get all these people to break it down and tell y'all bullshit. Watch. Just listen though. He told you. That's an old video, by the way. Shout out to Dana J. I think I seen you in the chat and everybody else in the chat. Salute to y'all. Oh, that made him real mad. When the man himself come out here and blast they scams, even though Kramer been telling y'all these motherfuckers been scamming off him for the last few years. And we can go back even before all this shit, back in 2013. You see, under my research, I come to realize there's a lot of people who develop this system of kickbacks and manipulating contracts and shit like that. So when I hear this musclehead ass nigga Don Russell come out in his new interview talking about people know where the body's at, didn't Tasha K say Azriel know where the body's at? But somehow she ain't provide too much of shit other than a janky ass testimony she might want to be a little nervous about when it comes back around. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, I've been telling y'all, shit janky. Then this musclehead nigga try to come out here and try to jump ahead and talk about he's got deals over here, he's putting music out over here. Guess what? You heard R. Kelly say he ain't even thinking about putting out no music. Yet, as you have seen over the past few years, that's been a lot of people's main objective, to keep the money flowing. Somehow, regardless of what scam or what backdoor deal they come up with, it always creates division, and we always see the fallout. What's funny to me is, how you gonna sit here and debunk digital footprints? Make that make sense. Hold up. And another thing, not only is it an insult to people's intelligence, who can go back and verify that R. Kelly made it very clear that he did not even want to deal with nobody under the age of 18, that he openly even had a guy run across the stage with the 18 sign, then came back with the 21 sign. But you can allow people who don't even know the man to build this facade of how he fantasizes about children. He participates in role play to make his girls do things childlike. Meanwhile, they come out here double talking, telling you he's getting them boob jobs and butt, getting their butt done and all that. I don't know no pedophiles that want people with breast jobs, their butt done, and shit like that. Don't that defeat the fucking purpose in being sexually aroused by a child if you gonna have some big ass titties, big ass booty in your face? Am I crazy? But they can let these people come out here and keep saying this stupid ass shit. Now, the fact that simultaneously, when this man is going through all this shit legally, and you got the government trying to get his assets, Then you got the people leaking all these stories trying to acquire these assets and or distribute them. Then you got these so-called accusers trying to attack royalties they ain't entitled to. And if you ain't paying attention to a lot of these stories, they revolve around people who feel like they got the short end of the stick. Don't that sound like a civil issue? Don't it sound like if you actually read the paperwork of all the quote unquote misconduct that made their RICO, don't you think that would fall in the line of a civil offense? But then when you have a musclehead nigga come on these platforms and reveal to y'all all these janky signatures, when you have Jane Does who come out so anxious to prove to y'all they know this man or have some type of proof, they expose to us these janky signatures. This person come out here and try to validify so-called settlements that could have been used with janky signatures. Why is it so hard for people to realize that the government would have had a better case with embezzlement, tax evasion, fraudulent shit like that, which is what I uncovered, instead of gravitating to all these stories that I ripped apart. Now, the fact that some of these accusers, I didn't even focus on who they were because it didn't even matter who they were. The point was for me to let you keep seeing how repetitive these stories are. The fact that the media is lying, saying they don't know each other, when I'm clearly showing you how they're intermingling and meeting each other through like-minded individuals. And the people who hate R. Kelly, they can't see that this is essentially a criminal enterprise in itself, as all of these people have maliciously conspired to keep R. Kelly down. Hmm. Does that wrap it up for you on what I think about Tim Savage, goofy ass? Because, I hate for people to speak for me and then come out here and fuck up the whole goddamn message, then get mad at me because they dumb. But I think I hit the major points as to why everybody should be held accountable. Tim Savage at the top of that list. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of the channels that actually support R. Kelly, instead of assuming and making your content for clickbait, how about just using a little integrity? Everything the real supporters put out there is still out there. That's the reason we put it out there. Because contrary to team lies, contrary to the people who want to keep R. Kelly down, we just wanted to give you all a fair, unbiased perspective. So that regardless of whether you felt like a man his age shouldn't date an 18-year-old, you would know sitting her lying and saying she's 16 and 17 is not lawful. So to allow people to manipulate laws to accommodate feelings, I don't want to hear that black shit, that Black Lives Matter shit no more. I don't want to hear the government is the reason why the black man ain't in the home no more. I don't want to hear protect black women no more. Because all that is some bullshit from my perspective. I'm melanated. I'm a woman. Does my life not matter? Because I don't agree with certain women, because I won't be bullied by certain men. Let's figure it out. It ain't the government fault the black man ain't in the house, just FYI. Now, they do contribute to the discrimination and the bias between brown families and Caucasian and other families getting assistance. But guess what? I highly doubt there are people still in today's society who want to run to the government to get $100 or $200 check. You can't live off that. Surprise! A lot of people will settle for whatever they can get if they make the poor choices in life. And that's something they have to be accountable for. But my problem with America is the hypocrisy. Because instead of making this black or white race baiting type situation, how is it all these so-called Christians on these platforms on this demon time? I thought God operated in love, but yet you got all these people so judgmental, all these people ready to throw this man in the damn dirt and cover him up. But as he said, he might be buried under all these accusations, but he's still alive. And he still got ample people who still believe in him, regardless of what people who want to monetize and keep their docile audience entertained can comprehend. See, clearly, a channel like mine is going to be demonetized, shadow banned, all that. But that ain't going to change what I put on display, obviously, because my message is and always will withstand the test of time, especially when I saw bullshit from day one. And that's just that on that. Anything else? Y'all got any questions before I jump off of here? I want to put together a couple more videos, but the major emphasis in this video was to give you a perspective as to what I think about what I'm hearing about Tim Savage, new change of heart, and Don Russell's new interview. And let me be clear, I don't think nobody with no common sense think Don Russell did this last interview to help his situation. Clearly, for the slow ass people that don't comprehend, I think people get on some of these platforms for different motives. And a lot of these people are here to just throw mud on other people's name. Some people are going to reveal exactly the janky personality that I picked up on and could not align with. But at the end of the day, all the manipulation I saw, even something as simple as coming on camera, and that's the reason why I decided to stay on camera this whole live, because that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. If anybody on this internet who could sit here and watch individuals pull my shit up from social media and Google, who can type in my real government name and see thousands of my pictures, who think I got a problem coming on fucking camera, when I come out here and tell you, I'd rather you pay attention to what I have to say than look at me. Looking at me ain't gonna do shit for me. I'd rather you pay attention to what I got to say or put on display. Okay? So simple shit like that is what irritate me. If anybody got any questions, drop them in the chat before I jump off and try to scan through. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. If you don't be getting the notifications, make sure you go and check to see that they're on all, because if you don't, they'll be selectively giving you whatever they choose to send you, and you might miss a lot of the content that I do happen to drop. But on the other hand, even if you just stop by my channel once a week, let me skim through here and see what Prima Donna got to say. Let me go through old content and look through things she might have pointed out in the past that may make some sense today. Oh yeah. And then that's another thing that irritated the fuck out of me. Everybody wanted to come to YouTube and gravitate toward these interviews and the people being interviewed, and that's their damn prerogative. But if I'm telling you, number one, I don't know these fucking people. Number two, a lot of the shit that I hear just gives me red flags, which is why I don't watch a lot of people. And number three, the BBC interview revealed a lot for me, especially when you know that behind the scenes, certain people were used to verify other individuals. So, in order for them to have been presented to you, YouTube, people had to be okay with it behind the scenes. So, if they were okay with it behind the scenes, Prima ain't gonna give a fuck about it on her goddamn channel. I said that. So, with the BBC interview, the major character I observed on there besides Tim Savage yet again, after he done got out here with this baseball bat, done created his public outcry. Now he on this docuseries trying to sell his reality story. Meanwhile, they over here going in between their Nature Boy and R. Kelly shit. So I'm seeing the framework. So you got him over here trying to line R. Kelly up saying he in a cult. But then you got them focusing on Nature Boy and his so-called cult. Major difference? You saw Nature Boy cult. I'm still asking to this day, where the fuck is R. Kelly cult? Now Lisa Van Allen, she might be able to go get her baby daddy and go bring his coat out. Where's R. Kelly coat? Anywho, Rocky, according to what he told Tasha K, he's Rockland Records. So when I noticed the A&R posting Rockland Records, I started to think, is somebody trying to revitalize Rockland? Like, what's really going on? Because according to the internet, Rockland has been dissolved since 2004. But according to Rocky, he is Rockland Records. He started that. And then again, let's factor in people like to leverage who they know in the industry to set up their little business deals. So according to Rocky, oh, I don't have to hustle. I make the deals. Well, if some of your deals a little janky, and if you come out here saying some crazy shit, and the media want to come out here and keep painting people as R. Kelly manager, and I'm just common sense showing you, well, I don't know about these people over here and this person over here, but this specific person, which was at the time James Mason, was the only manager that I saw at the point of 2018. So the fact that they want to keep giving this self-proclaimed manager this title for the media, And the fanatics, they want to keep skipping why people try to separate all the things that helped enhance this manufactured RICO against R. Kelly. Clearly, they're no concern to us. Okay? Clearly, they got issues that has nothing to do with us. They like who they like. They wanted to follow the stories they wanted to follow. But when it comes to the paperwork, coming from that BBC interview, you got Rocky talking about he was at the wedding. Now you got this musclehead nigga out here talking about he know about some shit he wasn't even present for. How in the fuck you gonna speak on Aaliyah and R. Kelly when bitch you said you wasn't around but 8 goddamn months? Some ain't make no sense. But then because you come in and you start doing some fuck shit, and I tell you, if you had done the same shit to me, I would have got a lawyer. I would have pressed charges on your motherfucking ass. But the fact is, a lot of these people, as I believe, are taking the actions of other people and applying it to R. Kelly. Instead of directing their anger on the musclehead ass nigga, instead of directing their frustrations with Sony RCA Jive like Mute R. Kelly should have done, they came to the fucking public to get an outcry. Bitch, you got one. And we ain't gonna shut the fuck up. Just putting it out there. We gonna be on your motherfucking ass until R. Kelly free. Cause we told y'all. It's only a matter of time. Only stupid ass super fans felt the need to do this and do that and do this and do that. That's their fault. But watch. Y'all gonna see when R. Kelly free. Okay? But other than that, I think that's about it. Let's see. If I run across the interview, I will put it in my community chat. Y'all know how I do. I like to drop shit throughout the day on my community wall, whether it's old videos, whether it's other receipts to put in the frame, what's being put out there now, what has already been put out, and things that you may have missed, context clues in my collages that you can always go back and review. Other than that, it's up. And R. Kelly fans ain't going nowhere. We gonna be stomping on Tim Savage motherfucking neck until he come out here with the truth. Okay? Cause all this flip-flopping, we not gonna do. We seen from beginning to now how this RICO came into play. So all these people talking about, but he's on the tape with a minor. For you to feel like that, and you to skip the fact that, number one, why the fuck was Michael Avenatti dishing out so-called child porn? Number two, why the fuck would Kamara Lee Simmons want to buy alleged child porn from Lisa Van Allen? Number three, don't that fucking sound like fucking extortion? Number four, how you gonna fucking flip that around and say that's obstructing of justice cause some dumb motherfuckers over here stealing from a man, then gonna try to pawn his shit and then try to sell him some janky shit, come back 4 years after the fact in the middle of this man being accused of sleeping with a minor and try to sell him some shit he already being prosecuted for. And Skip, hold up now, let's not forget the icing on the cake. Let's not forget, according to Boss Baby, she was having a little thing with Drea Kelly. So, you bitches not gonna keep coming over here fucking with us R. Kelly supporters. And I see y'all all under Drea Kelly when she got them goddamn little bitty ass baby shorts on and shit, twerking and shit, trying to show y'all she still flexible and shit. But meanwhile on ABC, ooh, but he hog-tied me. Shut the fuck up. He ain't hog-tied shit. I'm sick of all this shit. This some bullshit. That's what it is. Some bullshit. We tired of it at the end of the day. Y'all need to stop coming over here with that bullshit, talking about this, and that. If you ain't gonna talk about everything that was covered in the trial, don't come over here and talk about them motherfucking tapes. If you ain't gonna talk about them thoughts on the fucking tapes, talking about they was sleeping with minors, bitch, go prosecute them. Okay, I don't wanna hear that shit. Two, if you ain't finna prosecute the motherfucking county clerk, the human service office, the goddamn pastor, and all these other motherfucking people involved, motherfuck that too. Dream Hampton, you can take your bitch ass magazine and your script and run over there with Tamara Lee Simmons and Kamara and all them bitches and get y'all Me Too act together, cause motherfucker, time's up. That's where we gonna go with that, okay? Time's up, bitches. Y'all been on them Hollywood couches. Now y'all mad. We don't care. We not finna keep selling our people out cause y'all hurt feelings. You could have got your motherfucking ass up and did your own shit. Kamora Lee Simmons, wasn't she 17, 16 when Russell began courting her? Yeah, you mean to tell me Oprah gonna sit down with that bitch nigga? Hold up. Hold up. Speaking of, who was the president of Def Jam at the time a lot of this shit got kicked off? You see, I find it very ironic. A lot of shit brings out a lot of accusations around a lot of other celebrities that they want to keep tiptoeing around. But the fact of the matter is, you should have took heed 4 years ago when we said if R. Kelly go down, everybody's fucking going down. Now, that didn't mean we gonna be fucking with nobody that ain't got shit to do with nothing. That meant we gonna keep pumping out the truth. We gonna stand on our square and we gonna keep putting niggas in their place. Every time they come and try to rewrite the script. How about that? And that's where we at. That's where we at. Other than that, y'all have a good night. I excuse me. I enjoyed this live. Damn, it's just always some sirens going on around this motherfucker. Some bullshit. People always on the internet playing. That's another thing. If you realize about these accusers, that that's another red flag I found, and why I didn't put too much emphasis on their story per se, but just to document it, because a lot of them, you will notice the deception with their age. Even now, you don't know if they 41, 42, 43, 44. They don't want to pinpoint like regular people. Oh, their date of birth is blase blase. Nah, they gonna give you a date over here, a date over here, and you have to keep in mind a lot of these blogs and other sites can be edited and manipulated. So that was another reason why, again, if this man has put out there for public knowledge his preference, and the government want to tell us that this is what they want to perceive from that, again, what's wrong with people saying prove it? I don't want to hear nobody who got caught up trying to bribe no official tell me no janky ass story after he done wrote a book and did this and did this and did this, and no broad with no mustache coming forth, even though Aaliyah mama done said she don't know this damn girl, and we done already proved the fact she wasn't Aaliyah's backup dancer or singer or whatever. But either way, what fucking tour was she on with Aaliyah? I ain't heard nobody answer that question yet. But yet, every time you get to asking them questions, what they do? Get to hollering and doing all this extra shit. Like, nobody made you come out and tell your story public. Like this be the reverse psychology shit to get me. You come out here and say, well, this is why nobody reports rape. Bitch, hold up. So because you say some shit happened to you 20 years ago, and we just saying, okay, you go file a police report, you go report it, you go do anything. We the fucking bad guy because we the reason why nobody is comfortable talking about rape. It ain't the fucking fact that women aren't feel empowered to come out and speak instead of busting it wide open for the camera. It ain't the fact that when women need help, they got an old Nate Splendor daddy ass nigga in their fucking face want a fucking special favor. Fuck all that. Like, I could go on and give y'all plenty scenarios, but the major emphasis is I just can't let nobody with the brain power of a fifth grader try to use reverse psychology on me. The nerve. It was cool. It was cool. Then when I was in school, wasn't nobody checking. When you was in high school, you ain't checking for nobody your age, because 9 times out of 10, if they parents didn't have no money, they ain't got no car. You trying to get somebody with a car. They ain't have all this special hardship permit, all these different licenses and shit you could have like they do today. You had to be about 16, 17 at that time. And again, like I say, we wasn't looking for no 16, 17-year-old. We looking for somebody who come scoop us up, da 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 da. It's just that. But again, we not gonna we not gonna skip past the fact that you had a whole baby boomers stage, baby groupies. You had the Two Live crew and all these motherfucking 17, 16-year-olds out in the videos at the Freakniks. They talking about Freaknik right now. But think about all the 17-year-olds that was in that motherfucker. Think about all the 17-year-old video vixens from the 90s. So for these people to be bringing up shit from the 90s and trying to validate any point they got today as to how they feel about R. Kelly, that's how I be looking at them like, bitch, you do know it's a whole lot of motherfucking people that fit in that category. Like, didn't didn't Rick James have a song come out 16 or she was 16 or some shit like that? It's ample songs, ample musicians, ample regular people, including your great granddaddy, great uncle, great grandmama, all these people who were accustomed to this certain lifestyle. And to sit here and listen to traumatized, broken women try to say, well, oh, that doesn't mean it right. Again, you got to adjust and accommodate to the times. And then you got some of these people with these weird ass religions who believe in sexualizing their 13-year-olds and shit like that. So what you want to say? It's time to stop being oblivious to the facts. And then on top of that, how ironic is it they doing Surviving R. Kelly back to back to back to back on Lifetime? The same fucking network, they got a show called Escaping Polygamy. So you mean tell me we gonna make this whole scripted show about a cult R. Kelly's supposed to have? Then we gonna make another show of a real cult with real children saying they're being abused, violated, held hostage, having to escape from these situations. Fuck that. Let's go after R. Kelly. And I'm supposed to listen. I'm supposed to listen to this fuck shit. Make it make sense. Monica, Brandy sent her, she had a whole fake marriage. So people want to sit here and be like, but Aaliyah married R. Kelly. I don't fucking know that. Stop with that. So when I say I don't know that, you want to start envisioning this whole sexual relationship. Guess what? That ain't his charge. He ain't charged with sleeping with Aaliyah, even though, like I've said, yeah, we know Elvis slept with Priscilla. We know she trying to get her moment in the spotlight now with her tell all. But guess what? Elvis still everywhere in Memphis. Ain't nobody talking about mute Elvis. This motherfucker just had a whole docu-series honoring Elvis. But the black folk said mute R. Kelly. Bitch, you crazy. Bitch, you crazy. Fuck, I would. But yep. Anywho, I said I was finna get off here a while ago, but this shit just be having me heated. Let me go on and get off. I appreciate y'all once again. Y'all have a good night. And I will holler at y'all on my next live. It may be in a few days. Who knows? We'll see how I feel. Have a good night.